Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and I have a project to share with you today. We are going to be making this Trojan horse. This is a kit by Pathfinders. It's geared for ages 8 and up, and it says it takes about 2 hours to complete, but it actually took us a little bit longer. I'm going to walk you through the process of how we did this and why we did this and how it incorporates into our homeschool. So the first thing I'm doing is just taking out all of the pieces. Now my son, who is 13, is going to be making this, but I did help him get started with it. I looked through the instructions and I also tried to arrange the pieces in the kit in this little tray that I have to help him out. But honestly, I think he preferred to have everything in the little baggies. So don't take everything out and spread it all over the place. It will be a little bit harder to get started and know what pieces need to be used. These are all laser cut and they're all notched. It also comes with glue, which helps hold those pieces together. I do recommend that you wait on the glue until all those pieces are fixed together, because we did make a few mistakes where we had to remove the pieces, which came apart pretty easily, and then re-glue them together. This is one project where precision is necessary. It's really important that all of those pieces fit together really well, because this is going to be a working, moving Trojan horse in the end. You want to make sure that the part of the Trojan horse that opens and closes easily. And we did run into a little bit of a problem towards the end of the project, and it required us to take some pieces apart, and that was really discouraging for my 13-year-old, and it kind of soured the end of our project just because this did take a lot longer than the expected 2 hours. Now, when we're doing a project like this, I usually set it up in a space where we don't need to put it away. And I would recommend that you do the same if you're going to work with a project with a lot of pieces, because we're going to need to come back to this project over and over the course of several hours or even several days, because some of these pieces need to glue completely before you can move on to the next step. Otherwise, it doesn't hold together quite as well, and it can be really frustrating as you move on and the pieces start to fall apart. So every so often, after a lot of the gluing was complete, we would step away from the project, let it completely dry, and then come back and continue working. So that was really great for us. However, on occasion where we weren't really precise with our gluing, and I say we, but really it's just my 13-year-old son who was doing this, where we weren't really precise and it glued and it dried, and then we had to take it apart and then re-glue it. Those were times where it was a little bit discouraging. So again, make sure that you're really careful about how you glue the things together, and also know that a lot of the pieces are really similar. So it's important that you are using the correct piece for every step of the process. Okay, so now I'm going to take you down just to normal speed, just to show you how slow this process actually is. Now, while all the pieces fit together really well, you can see that in some cases, it's really important that you're fitting in the right piece. So all 4 of those look the same. They are the leg of the Trojan horse. But either because part of the piece that we already put together on the right side was glued a little bit too far to the left, it made it difficult to get that piece in. So we kind of had to struggle with aspects of the project that way. But I think that's just a matter of the way that we assembled it, and it's not a matter of the product being miscut. Okay, so once we got all of those pieces together, we went ahead and we glued them in once we knew that they fit together really well. So in that case, you want to get both the legs in, or rather all 4 legs, and then both of the wheels in before you glue it all in place. So this is the part that is the moving piece, other than the fact that it can actually, you can wheel it back and forth. But this piece here, we had quite a bit of struggle with, because you need to be really precise about how you are assembling this piece. So it did come with a little bit of sandpaper, which came in handy, because we needed to sand this down quite a bit in order for us to be able to open and close that part of the project. Okay, so once that was complete, you can see how lovely it opens and closes, and you can hide that little ladder inside the Trojan horse. And you want to make sure that it's completely dried, like the glue is completely dried before you open and close it, because that's what will happen if you are a little bit too hasty the way we were. We were just really excited to see how it would come together. So we needed to re-glue that and let it dry completely. It takes a good hour for it to be super dry and sturdy. All right, so after a few days, you can see that everything works really well. It's all very smooth. It's very sturdy. However, if you've got young children or children who play a little bit rough, this isn't going to hold up. Part of this project was the doing of the project, but it does fit with our Roman and Greek unit studies, primarily our Greek unit studies. And then it also worked well with our horse unit study that was directed for my daughter, who is 9, but my son did this project in order to go along with that unit study. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed this project. If you'd like to see more projects in our homeschool, you can tap on the screen right now. Don't forget to check out the blog post that accompanies this video with more tutorials for our Greek unit studies. And if you'd like to see what we're up to on a daily basis, you can find me on Instagram at Pepper and Pine.